so I don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks about it. How's it going, G Freaks and Sci-Fi Fanatics? This is Daniel, the Sci-Fi Sentry, always keeping it raw, always keeping it real, and I am back again with another figure review. And as you can see, it is for probably one of my favorite versions of the character, Medieval Spawn from McFarlane Toys. And I just want to make this clear before we get started on the review. I've always been a huge fan of the 90s Medieval Spawn, and I did some digging, some research, and this is a different Spawn. This is Sir John of York, I think. But besides that, I mean, I've always been a huge fan of the 90s Spawn, either version of Spawn. And now, getting started with this review, I'll start off with detail. And well, as you can see, it looks fantastic. It's very detailed. I just wish, like they did in the 90s, they would have gone with the small, very small steel chains, but of course, unfortunately, they're going with rubber. The accessories are also great. With McFarlane Toys, they always come kind of bent. You gotta really mess with them a little bit, straighten them out. But the sword looks great. The warhammer looks great, and his head, wow, his helmet, just to get a better look, yeah, but wow, that looks amazing. McFarlane Toys are always known for very good detail, and a couple of gripes I do have, of course, is that it looks like the color applications weren't completed on the gauntlets. Some of the parts of his lower armor, the skirt, the knee pads, the boots. I mean, I wish they would have gone with the red, more black on each side. I mean, it's silverish, so I mean, it does kind of play into the character. But I wish they would have added more paint. They would have applied more paint, and even of course, the shoulder guards, the shoulder pads look great. The shoulder armor, like that skull right there, and on this part right here, on the right, with the spikes, very cool. And especially the part in the chest, that looks great. Yeah, the sword's in the way, but that looks awesome. The skull that's connected to the chains in his abdomen, middle part of the armor of his body, torso. And yeah, the detail is wow. I'm very pleased with this figure and the way it came out. Sir John of York. Now, to the articulation, McFarlane Toys is known for good articulation. You know, it's very stiff, very stiff. The hands, you know, it takes a while, especially if it's still new, to get the articulation and the joints a little bit loose. That's as far as I'll go as far as moving it. And you know what? Let me go to the back. His cape. This cape is one of the better capes. I'm not really a cape kind of collector. I don't like capes because they put so much weight on the back, and you really have they make them very back heavy, and they make the figure tilt. They make the collectible tilt, which I don't like, and it tilts back, so you really gotta adjust it more forward so it doesn't fall back. But this cape is pretty light, given that it's McFarlane. And yeah, I mean, it's It's a fantastic collectible, man. And as you guys already know, I'm more about just the detail and display. I'm not really about the articulation or anything like that. I also got two because every time I see a collectible that I really enjoy, I always get two of the same one because I it's that's just what I do. And I there's nothing else really bad I can say about it. Just that the paint applications to me weren't finished. I don't like the fact that they use rubber instead of the old school small, I guess, aluminum chains they used to use back in the 90s. And but it does have that 90s feel that I really love about Medieval Spawn from the 90s comics. And Sir John of York is, hey, I gotta do more research and more reading on the current modern Spawn series. But overall, G Freaks and Sci-Fi Fanatics, that's my review for the Sir John of York, McFarlane Toys, Medieval Spawn. Yeah, I'm really digging it. Like, really digging it. So, G Freaks and Sci-Fi Fanatics, I hope you guys have a good weekend. I usually try to make my review short. I still got some other reviews coming. Also have this Friday a very important and big event with a live stream with a very well-known, humble, sweet individual. You guys have already seen the thumbnail, so have a good Sunday. This is Daniel, the Sci-Fi Century, always keeping it raw, always keeping it real. So I'm out.